there, hey there. What are you doing? What is up? Ever since somebody said that sounds like Azalea Banks, I can't not hear Azalea Banks whenever I hear that or I do that. Anyway, hi, it's Kendall here. I don't think I've ever done this, so this is gonna be a new thingy for me. I'm in my mukbang era. Turn up. And you can't even see the food, but you can see my mic. Learning process. We're learning. That might be worse. Anyway, okay. Hi. I've been hyperfixating on a lot of things, and I figure that I will make my life easier by just doing a video where I talk about all those things. It's the end of the year. This is when things get really weird on this channel because I have 3 brain cells left. Most of them are used watching terrible Christmas movies currently. So today we're doing something a little different, especially because I think this is coming out the day before Thanksgiving. So if you want to eat with somebody, but you, for whatever reason, aren't doing anything for the holiday, maybe this will keep you a bit of company. I actually am not going to be doing anything on Thanksgiving proper because I actually did a whole Thanksgiving, like, Friendsgiving thing last weekend, which I did film. There is a vlog for that. So, ooh, I'm back in my vlogging era too, and my cooking era, because I cooked so much. So for those of you that remember long ago vlogs back in 2020 where I was losing my mind like all of us were, one of the things that I did is very chaotic cooking video. So I think that video will be a bit of a return to that. But today we're talking about things that I've been obsessed with recently and eating one of the things that I've been obsessed with recently. Malatang. I believe Malatang is Sichuan hot pot. I was obsessed with this when I was in Korea. It was a bit of a fad back when I was there, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And it's one of the only types of hot pot that I'm aware of that you can get without bringing a bunch of people. Like getting hot pot in like a traditional setting where you're like supposed to have people with you. You're supposed to have people with you. I've done it one time where I went to a traditional hot pot place by myself and it just, you feel embarrassed. Malatang, generally speaking, is the type of hot pot where it's not strange to eat by yourself. Basically get a bowl, fill it with the ingredients that you like, and then you weigh it and they cook it in the back and bring it out to you after you pick like your spiciness level. If you're in the Metro Detroit area, this place is called Malaland. I always get Malatang. Tang is soup. So I get the soup, medium spicy with extra enoki mushrooms, extra beef, wood ear, extra spam, sweet potato noodles, the glass noodles, wide noodles, bok choy, cabbage, bean sprouts, tofu skin, and oyster mushroom. And I get it the second spice. Sometimes I get it the third spice if I'm on my period. But this is the first thing. Hello? They gave me 2. Is this my order? Did I order so much that they couldn't put it in one? Oh, I might have. That's funny. Yes, these are the right ingredients. I guess they just put them in 2 separate ones because I like a lot of enoki mushrooms. What can I say? But yes, Malatang a week ago, before I started cooking for Thanksgiving, I literally went there 6 times in the week. This is I don't know why they separated it. But for those of you that have never had it, it's spicy, a little numbing, really, really good and really, really addictive. I'm going to consolidate. I've never had them do this before. This is so interesting. Maybe they forgot stuff. So yes, this is one of the things I've been hyperfixated on because it's addictive. It's so good. If you've never had it and you like hot pot, generally speaking. And then for beverages, I have water in my Dollar Tree or Dollar General glass. $1.25. I can tell I was old because I was very, 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 very excited about this glass. It's really thick, it's ribbed. I make all my lattes in it and I'm trying to drink more water because every person in my life is concerned. I'll get a headache and they're like, did you drink water? My boyfriend's like, did you drink water? And I'm like, no. Fuck off. So I have water and a hard iced tea. I'm on vacation, baby. Russet's not here. She's actually at daycare because I'm gonna be, though I'm not gonna have like a traditional Thanksgiving, I'm gonna be ripping and running a lot. Don't want her to be all by herself so she can play with her friends while I'm doing that. So, which means I don't have to go get her. So drinking, we're doing. It's Arizona spiked iced tea with lemon. Usually I don't like iced tea sweetened, but that's because of the alcohol. It kind of takes that like very sweet edge off that's in sweet tea, and I'm not a fan of that. Of course, it doesn't want to focus. Love that for me. Since this video is basically going to be just a video about my hyperfixations, I did notice a overarching theme, which may allude to me being a wee bit stressed as the year winds down. A lot of my things are focused on relaxation, winding down, spending time with myself, rediscovering stuff. This all boils down to like a video of things maybe that I can come back to and reference where I can breathe and just enjoy something. I've been cooking my ass off, and it's funny because years ago I had so much anxiety around cooking. Like when I was living at my parents' house, the idea of cooking nearly as much as I do now, I could not stomach. Partially because I had an aversion to touching raw meat in particular. I don't have nearly as much as I used to. I still don't love it, but it's not nearly as debilitating as it used to be. I just always had this anxiety that I was gonna undercook it and then I'm gonna die of salmonella. But I think over the years I've really built up a lot of confidence, enough that I did Friendsgiving. Granted, I was still very, very nervous because I was scared about the mac and cheese in particular, because if the mac and cheese is nasty, they gonna go home and say, yeah, that mac and cheese was nasty, you know? If the other stuff isn't as good, whatever. But mac and cheese seems to be the thing that really determines whether or not Thanksgiving was good. Or whatever, like, group meal you had was good. Before you even see the vlog, it banged. The entire plate banged. I knew it was good because I gave everybody a plate and they didn't say shit. Nobody said nothing. We all sat down and in the dark watching Ratatouille. And when I looked up again, there was nothing but bones and like a piece of sweet potato that fell on the floor and somebody put back on a plate. So if you want to see that whole chaotic process, again, that'll be in the vlog. But yeah, I've just been finding a love of cooking for other people. And it makes me think of my mom a lot. She was a cooker. She was good. She didn't have a lot of different meals that she cooked, but the ones that she made were solid and good every time. There's usually like a general basis to it, some like fundamentals for it. A lot of green pepper, a lot of beef bouillon and chicken bouillon, generally stewing meats for a very long time, chicken, usually bone-in. White meat, because she didn't eat dark meat because she was racist to chickens. She had some weird aversion. I think she told me growing up as a kid, she was one of 7 children and dark meat is cheaper to buy. So they would buy a bunch of dark meat for the kids, and then her dad and maybe her mom would eat the white meat. When she was old enough to buy her own chickens, she swore she would never eat dark meat again, and didn't. Which is silly to me because dark meat tastes better, but okay. And she would cook dark meat for us, stewing a lot of roasts. But yeah, it did make me think of her a lot. Not in a sad way. For those of you that don't know, my mom passed away 4 years ago. Oh my God, time flies. One of her things that she showed love a lot with was cooking. So with everybody coming over and seemingly having a really good time, that made me feel like I was passing on that. I think she would have really liked everything. But I ordered this, one, to talk about the hyperfixation, but also because I've eaten so much Thanksgiving food for the last few days. You know, like when you host, you have so much food that you're just like, okay, I guess I'm eating Thanksgiving for the next week. And it's like, the way that my stomach is set up, I used heavy cream in that mac and cheese. I can't do it. I'm lactose intolerant. I don't have the best lactose tolerance, babe. The way my intestines are set up, no. I would have cooked for this, but like I said, I've been cooking a lot, so my kitchen looks like a bomb went off in it. And sure, people always say, clean while you cook. I hear you say that. But one of the ways that I did start to get more confidence in the kitchen was using like meal kits. So I'm gonna send it over to today's sponsor, talk about that, because it's topically significant.
Why, hello there. This is Admiral Kennie. To let you know that today's video is sponsored by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit delivery service that offers you fresh, delicious, and healthy meals delivered straight to the comfort of your own home. Pre-portioned, pre-thought out meal. It comes with easy to follow recipe cards that'll help you get the meal on your table in about 30 minutes, oftentimes less than that. It allows you to try new recipes, get out of recipe ruts, all without having to go to the grocery store, because it sucks. And this way, you don't even have to go. You don't have to buy that jar of turmeric that you don't know what to do with outside of that one time you made yellow rice. They're chef-crafted recipes that come together quicker and less expensive than if you had gone out to get the ingredients yourself. I just had the beef and green bean bowl, one of my favorite. So good. And I was real hungry too. You could tell by that like exhale. You can customize recipes so that you can get it just the way you like it. And if you would like to add on anything like desserts, quick breakfasts, snacks, that is also available. They even have Thanksgiving items that can wow your guests with very little effort. Take the help where you can get it. I don't recommend cooking everything from scratch. So go to HelloFresh.com, use code Kennie10 to get 10 free meals across 7 boxes for new subscribers only. That's 10 free HelloFresh meals across 7 boxes if you use code Kennie10. Big thanks again to HelloFresh for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get on to the debauchery.
So, Arcane season 2 came back, yeah? If you don't know what Arcane is, it's amazing. Got spice in my throat. It's an animated series loosely related to some of the lore from League of Legends. So it's a lot of the characters from League of Legends. I never played League of Legends, so I don't really know the lore, so it's all new to me. And I watched the last season a few months ago, and then they just came out with the new season. So luckily I didn't have to wait very long because it was like 3 years between the seasons, but my boyfriend introduced it to me and he was like, I think you'd really like it. And I love it. The new season had me nervous because they were trying to do a lot. I was a little nervous. I was like, how are you going to stick that landing? But I think they did a very good job. It's not perfect. I definitely have some critiques, generally speaking, around just like the politic of the show, particularly around the Caitlyn character. Oh, they gave me different tofu skin. That's fine. Wait, that's different than the tofu skin I usually get. Wait, I think I like this better. I say all that to say, but the show, really, really good. It's incredible. It's visually stunning. I talked about the show, the first season, right after I watched it in like a different, like kind of a informal video where I was just talking about things that I'm interested in. The art style is definitely this really interesting mixture of digital art and 2D animation, and it's just really visceral and heartbreaking. And I appreciate also that it's just 2 seasons. That's the series finale. They're probably gonna do like spin-off shows and other related shows, but I believe season 2 is it. I hate a show that gets drawn out longer than it should be just because, you know, money. Usually around season 3 is when shows fall apart because they're like, oh, we didn't think this far. So I was like, I'm just not interested in just watching your kind of last stitch efforts type beat. But they're like, no, we're ending it at season 2. We're ending it tight. It's a tight, 18 episodes in total, the entire show. And I've been really, really enjoying it. And I want to rewatch it. I think I'm going to start it over because there's definitely things in between seasons that I forgot. And I think it would have been more impactful if I remembered. So I definitely want to return to the first season and watch it over again. I know some people were asking me like, Kendall, are you going to make a video on it? And I can. That would definitely be in the new year though. I have so many video ideas for the new year and I need time to like pre-script and stuff. Should I give you a spoiler? I really want to do a video on Tyler Perry's weird relationship with sex. Have you noticed that? Like in his stuff, in the last like 2-3 years or so, sex has become this weird, awkward thing that he adds abruptly and confusingly. There's a lack of sophistication in how he goes about introducing sex scenes, sexual dynamics. I did see his new show, and that really got me on this. And if you haven't seen it, it's the story of a girl who starts stripping or whatever to make money to survive. But the ways in which sex is shoehorned even into a story that is about, in a way, its own type of sex work, like with backstage, backroom stuff they reference, they still handle sex as if they don't know what to do with it. And that's fascinating to me. Because the show is so bad, I didn't even want to like waste my time making a video about that specifically. But I do have questions. Ever since Mea Culpa, that was weird. The one with Megan Good, better, but still not great. Highly recommend Arcane if you've been considering watching it. I've been like pushing it on to friends of mine, like, you need to watch it, it's so good. It is dense though, like emotionally, so keep that in mind. Speaking of dense emotionally, I've also been watching Don. It's the first like anime that I've been like keeping up with for a very long time. I would never call myself like a hardcore anime fan. I'm a person that grew up with anime and will watch it periodically. I was a big like Sailor Moon bitch. I liked Inuyasha. I liked Yu Yu Hakusho. I like Death Note. There's definitely animes that I like. Case Closed, Detective Conan. I kept up with a lot of anime growing up, but these days I just don't have the time, really. I've been keeping up with Don Don, and it is really good, and it's really, really weird. It's really weird, and it's really good, but it's really, really weird. It's a show about a boy and a girl in high school. The girl believes in spirits and ghosts, and the boy believes in aliens, and neither of them believe each other, and they start having weird shit happening with ghosts and aliens. It's also kind of a rom-com and like a coming of age thing. It has some weird and disturbing things to say about genitalia. I don't know how to prepare you for it other than it is a lot for the senses. If you have seizural issues, I don't recommend watching it, especially the intro, but the intro bangs. Ooh, I've also, speaking of like animated stuff, well, this isn't animated, this is drawn. I've returned to True Beauty. If you don't know what True Beauty is, a webtoon, originally Korean, about a girl who was really ugly in middle school, and then in high school she discovered putting on makeup. And so everyone since high school, as she gets older in her early 20s, no one has seen her without makeup. Like the moment she learned how to beat a face, she's like, y'all will never see me ugly again. Then she falls in love, and then there's a love triangle, you know the thing. And I was religiously reading it back in like 2017, 2018, and I just fell off. And I was in Target a while back, and I saw a hard copy, and I was like, wait, they're selling it in Target? And it was 20% off. And I'm obsessed. So I bought the 3 that were there, and I ended up buying the two that weren't. And I'm just making my way through it because I've forgotten a bunch of stuff because that was 2017 or whatever. I'm really excited to continue it because I don't know how it ended because I kind of just fell off. Like I was saying before, I've become more obsessed than usual about relaxation, which is odd because I'm a cozy bitch. I've always loved a nap, and I love it more than ever before, to the point that maybe I should look in on it. It's a little concerning. Part of me don't want to because a bitch loves a nap. I like going to bed. I like acting like the world don't exist. Especially if there's nothing that I have to do right now. What am I rushing to do it for? There's a few things I've been using that have made that relaxation go a little too possibly OD. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. Baths. I've always been a bath girl. I love a bath. But I have been recently doing a cocktail that will knock me out like crazy. Lavender, bubble bath. Lavender, Dr. Teal's melatonin salt. And then I mix either oil, like body oil, and take an oil bath. Dr. Teal's makes their own oil if you want the scents to be all the same. Sometimes I use, I see it in my mind's eye. I will put it right here. This oil smells so fucking good. Tonka honey or something like that. Oh. Or I'll put the place that be in the mall, and you're like, who's buying stuff from L'Occitane that's keeping it open? Because they expensive. Their milk, their bath milk, fire. So I'll put one of those, the oil or the milk. Sometimes I'll do both if I'm feeling fancy. Light some candles, probably read True Beauty, and then you get out of the bath smelling good. Then I get in the bed and I bought a heated blanket. This blanket I put on top of the sheet but under my regular cover. Crank that bitch up so that you're baking. If it's cold, because it's getting cold in Michigan, I don't crank up the heat that high because I want it to be cold outside of the bed but hot as hell in the bed. You feel me? So if I get a little too hot, I can turn it down and lift a leg out. I have this like muscle relaxer thing. It's like a little tiny, I think it's the thing that, you know, like when dudes were doing like viral videos where there was like, this is what it's like to have a cramp. It's literally that machine. It's actually a muscle relaxer thing. And I'll put it anywhere that I'm feeling a little tight. I've been feeling a little tight in my shoulder right now because I sit like this, like a gargoyle. And then I pulsate it. I sit in bed and then I play mobile games, bitch. Them merge games. You like, who play these merge games? Me. I play those merge games. Like, I've been made fun of by all my friends because I play so many of them, like merge 3 games, merge 2 games. Love and Pies, they've sponsored the channel, but I play them a lot. I'm on level 59 of Love and Pies. Love and Pies is the merge game where you have a bakery. This is not sponsored, by the way. They have sponsored me before, full disclosure, but this is not sponsored. You have a bakery and then you expand your burnt down baking shop. At some point, it no longer is a baking shop anymore. I just made a front deck and a pool. It's getting real out here. Love and Pies Merge Cooking, which is another merge game. But this one, you have to merge to get ingredients and then cook stuff. That one's fun. Cake Sort, which is more of like a proper puzzle sorter game where you sort cakes by their design. I don't know why, but this one makes me feel kind of old because the first thought I had was like, oh, that's good for your brain. Like you, puzzle game. And then Midas Merge, which is like a fantasy merger where as you merge more things and do more stuff, you create more like gorgeous fantasies and then you collect animals. So those are my merge games. And then I have like puzzle games. I like Jewel Puzzle. It's kind of like Tetris, but in reverse. There's a game called Family Tree where you use like word problems to figure out where each person is on the family tree. That one's funny because they definitely, some of them family trees are a reef, nigga. Also by the same makers, if I'm not mistaken, there's a game called Clue Master. Similar idea where you use word problems to figure things out, but this one is to figure out who's a criminal and who's innocent. So it's kind of like Clue. Nonogram puzzle. It's kind of like Sudoku. It's like Sudoku math problems, kind of, where it's like they give you a grid, they give you a certain number of numbers, and you got to figure out where the number is in the grid. And once you're done, it makes a little picture. And I'm on the very hard levels now, and ta-da, it's actually very hard. So I got stuck. So yeah, that's like my wind down routine. I have a hyperfixation, okay? I am a hyperfixative bitch. I like a thing and then I run it into the ground until I find another thing that I like and run into the ground. And we repeat until I remember the first thing. I have a hyperfixation. Don't look at my pinky. I have a hyperfixation with press-on nails right now. And I've been buying really cool ones. I've been making some because I finally figured out how to put them on in a way that doesn't up my natural nail. That is the reason why I struggle with keeping up with like nail shit, because my natural nails suck. They're actually very, very thin and very brittle, probably because I don't drink water. Every time I go to remove my nail, like my press-ons or like acrylics or whatever, people always like, oh, you just soak it. Oh, you just soak it in soap and oil of some kind and just soak it for like 10 minutes with water, like warm water, and they'll come off. I don't know what nails y'all have or what glue I use or whatever. It doesn't matter what glue I use, how long y'all say to soak. I can't do that shit. Now, if it's like acrylics, we can use acetone and just like take that shit off and then, you know. But if they're press-ons, some of the press-ons I buy are kind of expensive and they're nice. Like I want to keep them and wear them again. So I don't want to use acetone on them. Acetone free soap, oil thing, whatever, doesn't work. And it pisses me off when people are like, you just gotta soak it. No, shut up! But I finally discovered the way to do it so that I stop fucking up my nails. And ironically, I figured it out right after I fucked my nails up for the last time. So my nails are growing back. And I know this works though, because my nails are no worse than when I originally them up right before I figured it out, right? Use a nail hardener or nail strengthener, regular base coat on my nails, just so that whatever adhesive I use isn't directly touching my nails. Then I'll put one of them them little sticky tabs that come with your press-on nails that nobody uses. You're like, who the fuck are you using? This is where you use it for me. If you're feeling fancy and you got the time, you can heat them up with a blow dryer or my heated blanket, or put them under your hand, under your titty, and warm it up so that the glue really gets on there. Then you peel it off, and then I put a quick drying nail glue, like press on glue on top of that, so that my nail, like the middle of my nail, the general wide surface of my nail, doesn't get touched immediately with this liquid glue. As long as that is liquid glue free, it will come off in a reasonable manner. So then I put the nails on. They stay on for not a crazy amount of time, but I don't really want to wear them that long anyway. I want to switch them out. I buy a bunch of them. That's fine with me. But they'll stay on for 3-4 days. And then when I want to take them off, I can easily take them off with the soap and oil bullshit y'all always talking about. Or I can use like a press-on nail remover that also doesn't work when I don't do this. If I do just glue on there, that shit does not work. I don't know how y'all sell that shit. I don't know what's going on. But if I do it this way, I can take them off and then I can just use some dish soap or hand soap or whatever and wash off whatever glue, like sticky tab residue might be left on my nails. But I've been buying so many of them, collecting them. They look so pretty on my wall. There's a few brands that I definitely like a lot. What is it? BT Art Box. These miscellaneous. I have no idea where I got these. Probably was it Temu? I don't feel comfortable shopping from Temu very often. I don't know that there's child labor, but something tells me there's child labor. And there's just a part of me that's like, But BT Art Box I really like. I bought from a company called the Nailsicist, which are very cute, but they don't do custom sizing, so that's kind of annoying. But their work is beautiful. And if I do it this way, I can save them, rewear them, assuming I don't lose the pinky. Did I lose the pinky? I don't know if this should be like on the list of my things that I've been obsessed about so much, but I have been rewatching Girlfriends. Ever since my Sex and the City video, people have been asking me to do a video on Girlfriends. But the problem with Girlfriends is I never finished it. I always stop at season 6 or 7, whenever Tony leaves. Because honestly, I don't care about the rest of y'all. I feel different about each of the people than I used to when I was a kid watching it. But then some ways I feel very similar. I feel like there's a little bit of each of the girlfriends in all of us. I knew I had to turn over my life though a few years ago when my best friend said that I'm Joan, and I hate Joan. She's neurotic and a control freak. And he meant it in a loving way. He was like, "You're Joan, you're the mommy bear." And I was like, "Fuck you, she's awful." He's like, "Well, no, you're not as neurotic as Joan." I was like, "But I am." So that's when I went to therapy, actually, soon after that. I like Lynn more now. I used to really hate Lynn. In those first few seasons, she does piss me off though still. I'm in like season 4 now on my rewatching. Like those first few seasons, she's a mooch. I can't think of a better way. Like she was a mooch. Like she had 8 million degrees and was like, "Well, my parents and my friends will always take care of me, so I don't have to do shit." And it's like, no, bitch, go move somewhere. And when she started to actually like go for her dreams and shit, I liked her more, but she was pissing me off. I was like, girl, she brought the nigga Vasco into her house. He was in Jamaica. How did you get here? I would have beat her ass. I don't like niggas coming over my house unannounced in general. You bring the nigga we met at the resort to my house. Also, Tony was very annoying, but y'all knew what y'all were dealing with when y'all became friends with her crazy ass. I'm at that part where they're trying to make Joan and William a thing. Boy, let me just say this. William is the worst person of that show. He's supposed to be like the nice guy. He sucks ass the entire show. The entire show. At no point is he like a decent person. He just doesn't yell. And he's not like overtly masculine, I guess. And they're making that sound like, well, he's a nice guy. No, he's not. He's a terrible person. His first like major girlfriend in the show treated her like boo-boo. If you don't know the story, Yvonne is a cop that William started dating. He's a lawyer and a black Bush era Republican. So it makes sense, I guess. Wait, what was it? He wanted her to quit the force and she broke up with him, if I remember correctly. He followed her down to Jamaica and proposed to her so that she wouldn't break up with him. Then he wouldn't set a date. And only when she threatened to leave him again did he set a date for Valentine's Day. He bought a house without telling her. Didn't tell his mom he was dating her, let alone engaged. After he made her quit the force to be with him, because she does end up quitting the force to be with him. Something that she swears was her lifelong dream. And then he was like, if we get divorced, I don't want her to have all my wealth. So you made her quit her job. And she finally left his ass at the altar, which was dirty, but it was funny to me. And that's not even talking about like the politicking he does in the law firm that he works at with Joan. A lot of this like boys club shit. A lot of this like, I'm throwing niggas to the side because I am a lawyer before I am a black man. Shut the fuck up. But yeah, we're getting to the point where Tony's pregnant and spoiler. This episode aired in like 2005. Sorry to spoil. Tony's pregnant. Todd's trying to leave her. They're trying to put Joan and William together for some reason. All right, I think that's all for today, guys. Have a fun time with your families and friends. If you're not hanging out, I hope this video kept you company. If you like it, let me know. I can do it again. I eat every day. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.